Dear Premies, respected Baijis, and all the people that are gathered from near and far. I truly see a great gathering of warriors of light sitting in front of me, because it takes great courage to start a spiritual journey in your life. And each step that we take towards ourselves is a step of true realization. Because we are all sent here for a purpose, and each and every individual purpose is destined to be perfect. That is our journey, that is our struggle. But when we see how mankind has developed, we also see that sometimes, due to certain circumstances, situations, we lose the purpose of our struggle. And many a times, no matter how we question our existence, we sometimes do not receive the correct answer. So, in order to understand our purpose, what is the most important thing? And all the ancient wisdom of the Vedas, of Sanatana Dharma, points within us that the true purpose of life is realizing your true potential. Now, culturally, humanity has grown in many different ways. When we travel the world, we see how diverse human civilization is, with its belief system, with different religions. But predominantly, there are two very important school of thoughts that exist, under which you can combine all our schools of thought. What we basically say is the Western and Eastern school of thought. Now, what is the basic difference between Eastern and Western philosophies, or Eastern and Western religions? When you look at the Western school of thought, the emphasis on the individuality is very strong. All Western teachings stem out from the sole purpose that the individual is very important, and hence the ego within the individual is given great importance. So when you see the schools of thought that are given rise to Western philosophy, the individual has been given the primary importance. Now, when the individual thinks that he is the center of the world, for sure a lot of great accomplishments has come out from the Western school of thought. You see the West, the outer development of human life is very great. We have great scientific discoveries, great innovation, inventions that were primarily focused on what? That the external life is comfortable, then the individual has enough time to focus on his inner growth. But when we also see the Western world, with all its comforts, with all its innovation, with all its technological advancements, we also find that the growth of the inner self is not at the same level. For example, we see the life of an individual is filled with daily comforts here. If the outside weather is too hot, we have means to cool our home. If if the outside is very cold, we have means to warm our homes. Meaning, what is the outside will not affect you inside your home. If you want to travel great distances, each one over here has the means to do so. People have cars, people have the means of taking flights everywhere, and a journey which was a very long distance journey filled with great struggles, today with the means of modern inventions, we can make those journeys in great comfort. So the struggle to make a journey is also gone out of life. In the field of education, we've been given every opportunity to further ourselves, to excel ourselves. Now if you say that life is filled with comforts, shouldn't the life be filled with contentment also? Because why are we focusing on a society that is driven for comforts if in turn those comforts do not satisfy us? So what you see is that with the help of the ego or the use of the ego, the Western school of thought has made great achievements. But on one criteria, the ego does not help us, which is self-realization and self-contentment. And when you see the Eastern schools of thought, you will begin to realize that the external world was not given importance. Hence you will see in most of the Eastern countries, there is lack of infrastructure. There are a lot of problems that countries developing in the Eastern world are struggling with even today. Providing education to everyone is not possible. It's a great struggle. Giving a good means of life and fulfilling it is also a struggle. Many people do not have jobs, they struggle day to day. But somewhere you see that within all these struggles, if life is filled with struggle, life should be more unhappy, more unpleasant. But we get to see examples of such tremendous tolerance, such tremendous patience that contradicts what we try to believe. That if my life is not filled with comforts, then I cannot be happy. I cannot be content, I cannot be satisfied. Because if you travel to these Eastern countries, you will see a person might not have all the means of comfort, but within the circumstances and situation where he should suffer, logically, he is not suffering. Because somewhere he has learned to detach himself from his ego, and if he has learned to do that, then no matter what life throws in front of him, all the challenges, all the discomforts, it does not have the same reaction that we expect it to. And a person who is humble, a person who knows his struggle, who knows the challenges, can move in life through those challenges in complete contentment. So the person, despite facing all this trouble, facing all the difficulties, can truly lead a very happy life internally. Because the focus of the Eastern school of thought is learn to detach from your ego, not enhance it. So when you put ego into perspective of the human being, you begin to realize that our individuality, how we choose to express it, can choose to also define our spiritual journey. Now the question is not what path is right, but the question is that what path we must choose in order to better ourselves. Because in the Sanatan Dharma, it is clearly said that all paths eventually do lead to your final goal. But the factor that we have to factor in is that for sure you can make a journey from one point to other in many multiple ways. But our sages said that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Meaning you can take many ways to reach your destination. But the easiest way and the shortest way would be a direct connection. It would be a single straight line. Any other path than the single straight line will take you more effort and more time to reach your destination. So a wise man follows that single straight line. So when our sages begin to ponder that if we are sent for a purpose, if we are sent to realize something, there has to be a common realization for all of us, no matter what belief we follow, no matter what religion we follow, whatever different cultures we might accept. But as human beings, when we are born into this world, we are all born with one purpose. Now, why don't we realize that purpose? Because ever since we have existed, so our beliefs have also existed. Ever since man has come, religions have existed, questions have existed, and man has struggled again and again to find the answers to his purpose, to find the destination of this great journey called life. So the fact that we all must focus on is that first of all, why isn't it easy to understand our purpose? And that's where our sages said that it is not easy to understand our purpose because our mind, in which the ego resides, is not focused. We were recently in India, in Bhopal, which is a place in central India in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And